I just want to show you an example of what we're going to be doing for the painting or the coloring of this project, where I was talking about you having to use complementary colors and then switching it in the letters. So I have my sample here, and I drew my name with it's not my name. I just drew a name in block letters so that there's space in between the letters so I can fill in with paint. And then I took a ruler and I just drew 3 lines dividing my paper into 6 different sections. All right, and I drew the lines through the letters as well. So my first complementary pair that I'm going to use is orange and blue. And I'm going to paint the background orange. Now I'm using acrylic paint, so this shows up a little bit better in the video and in photographs. You can use watercolor. You could color this if you want. If you just want to use crayons or markers or colored pencils, that's fine. You can use watercolor. You can use tempera paint. Anything that you have is fine. So it's really just kind of about like switching up the colors. And I have some paper towel under my paper so I don't get paint on my table. And I'm not going to paint the letter, and I'm going to make sure that I stay in my space that I've drawn with my lines. Okay, and I'm also going to paint the inside of the O. If you have a letter that has a cutout like an O or an A or a P, any of those, I'm going to do all that inside space, which is really part of the background. I'm going to do that the same color. All right, so I have my orange space filled in. I'm going to clean my brush, wipe it off so I don't have water. And now I'm going to go with my complementary pair, which is blue. So orange and blue are across from each other on a color wheel, and that's why they're complements. And when you have orange and blue next to each other, they kind of make each other stand out. Just like you did your emphasis project last week, kind of is the same idea. Right, and I'm just filling in that O shape. Right, and I'm still sticking within my triangle that I drew. And actually, you know what? This little section of the L, that's also going to be blue because that's within my shape. All right, so I'm going to clean my brush off. And now I'm going to do the same complementary pair. Move my paper towel. And I'm going to reverse it. So now down here on the opposite section, I'm going to do blue first. All right, so I got my whole blue section filled in. And now I'm going to use orange for the letter. So I'm just going to switch it. clean my brush. Right, and then orange up here. So that's the rest of the O. All right, so that's my blue and my orange complementary pair. Now my next complementary pair is red and green, and then the third one is violet and yellow. So I will get those painted in and then post the finished picture on the assignment. So this way you can see what it looks like when it's done. But that's kind of the idea I was talking about, where you would keep the painting within the spaces that you drew, and the letters would be one color and the background another in the complementary pair, and then you switch it. So I'm going to do red and green for these pieces, and I'll do yellow and violet for these. Okay, have fun.